I feel. That's why you be like risk management. You gotta manage
Right,
your
you
trade.
gotta manage your trades because I can tell
No
you can take
signal
a
is perfect.
trade, but
Okay.
so
So although since it created the high and the low and it was ranging for a bit, since it's retouched the high, you expecting it to come back down and retouch the low.
exactly. In a second, I'm gonna
All
go
right.
to the MT4 chart and show you some shit too. Cause over the past week,
Gotcha.
before I launched the course and everything, I want to make sure everything is fucking flawless before I release it, so I don't have to go back and do it again and again. Because over the past couple of years, that's what's happened. I've released something and then had to go back and make changes. So this time, I don't want to have to do that. I want this one to be like the final
You want that shit to pop
shit.
right. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
All right, so let me actually go over the MT4 and I'm gonna show you some shit. But yeah, our first trade on the today is gonna be where we picked off yesterday. I know we did a couple 10s, so we'll start today at trade number 2 at 17, and then we'll go 17, 30, 27, and then what's the next one? No, we'll do 17, 31, 55. Those are going to be the next 3, 17, 31, 55. And I'll let you know, of course, what we're into. You can see my MT4 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to I'm going to go to the 4-hour chart because that's where I see the retest. So basically, I'm going to do a course with a naked chart just like this. As you see, it only has arrows and it has my RSI down here.
And those arrows, those are fractals or like literally just arrows that you put in?
They're automatic. And what they identify are resistance and support areas. So from right here, if you look, this of course is signaling that we are in an uptrend. The green arrows are higher lows. As you see over here, it was slighter downtrend because the higher highs are lower. If you look right here, this is a resistance area. See 1, 2, 3, 4 touches by the arrows.
Gotcha.
Now the arrows aren't an immediate signal unless they appear at the same level as a previous one. What I mean by that is this current one the one that we just got on this 4-hour is likely to be valid because it's at the same level as these 4. Also, knowing that this is the 4-hour chart, this is the high of the week. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So now, basically, we have our resistance area here. If we come in here to the 1-hour, of course, we see high of the day. I believe we're going to get that full fucking shift today. And that would be excellent. We're actually going to be able to take a binary options on this next 5-minute panel. I'm going to take a 10-minute trade, and this one's going to be the 17th. And I'm entering now. And that was a sell on pound.
GU.
Yeah, GU. So from the picture we looked at on pocket options, this is the same thing that we're looking at right here. The high and that low point. And overall, what I'm trading to is this level here.
That
We
midpoint.
set this high. So basically, when an arrow appears, say for instance this one that created the high, the best trade would have been not necessarily pulling the trigger as soon as it appeared, but when the level gets retested here. So your perfect entry would have been, of course, you would have saw this, you could have taken this, but it would have been just a scalp. Your best trade would have been on the retest here.
Of that level. Okay.
Right. So got the retest of that. If we were looking to buy, the next buy would be at the retest
At that support
here.
line. Yep.
Since we're at the high of the day, I don't expect a buy situation here. I expect
It should break through.
another sell opportunity.
Gotcha.
So that's
Now,
how
question,
you use the arrows.
When you make those judgment calls, right? How do you what's the way I'm trying to say? How do you like build a bias that you want to lean towards? Like you see how you said, okay, because we already hit the high of the day, you don't expect it to come to that mid-range level and bounce off and go higher. You say that it's a better probability of it falling below that level. How do you determine that? Like once you got it, because I can analyze a pair and I could see both directions, but sometimes I start like fighting myself on which one is right.
The best thing to do in that situation is determine the higher time frame, which directions they're going.
Okay, so higher time frame direct trend.
Right. For example, here off the 4 hour, this is where I'm overall basing my directional bias. So with the 4 hour coming down, that means ultimately every time frame below that hits a peak high position in their trend is going to be forced down in sync with the 4 hour.
Okay, so on the 4 hour, it'll look like a straight drop because it's gonna take 4 hours for that candle to form. But on the 1 hour, 30 minutes or so, it'll be a view of consolidation or maybe a little bit of a range before the drop actually happens.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the drop typically comes in 15, 30 minutes. Out of it, that 4 hour candle will be big as hell like this one.
Mm-hmm.
But the move happened in 15, 20 minutes. Because for the other 3 hours of the 4 hour candle, it was consolidated back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then all of a sudden, 30 minutes takes off and completes the whole 4 hour candle.
Got you. That makes sense. All right,
Like
that's
now
another
we
thing I
got
gotta
about
work on.
8 minutes before this 4 hour candle is complete.
Yeah, that's another thing I gotta work on my patience. Like, cause I see how you wait 18 minutes or so, and then or 2 minutes to take the trade. I gotta get on that time.
Yeah, I really take most of my positions, of course, in increments of 5.
Okay, got
so
you.
like the one we just did at 8:50 was 10 minutes. Of course, the trade is 10 minutes, which is an increment of 5. We took the trade at the 50-minute candle, which is an increment of 5.
So you always, for PO, you always let the candle that where it's at close before you take position.
Exactly. I try to stay at the whole 5-minute mark based on entry and expiry. I don't like to enter at, say, 457 or 453. If I was to do any trade there, I would have entered at 450 or 455.
I could now with PO, right? There's something that is always on because it's over the counter and stuff like that. Would you recommend me trading it alongside the real market time or trading outside of market time?
When it's on OTC, trade and do your analysis purely off pocket options.
Okay.
OTC stands for over the counter. So that is a chart created by the broker's algorithm. It's not
Oh,
going to
so
be in
that's
sync
not
with
even the
competitors.
regular Euro USD. That's like pocket option Euro USD.
Exactly. It's not
That's
going to
what you're saying.
correlate with the global market.
That's why you're working on a strategy for just when you're looking at binary, so we could do those OTC
Exactly.
because those payouts is crazy.
Yeah, that
22% is
OTC payout be crazy. Crazy. They be hella. Sometimes it gets up to 92 on the weekends. And that's how I'm able to trade binary on the weekends. I'm trading OTC.
got you, got you.
But during a Monday through Friday on our regular market hours, the pound and stuff by itself without the OTC is directly correlated with the global market.
Got you. Fire, fire. I wanted to put you on this too because I know some people like me and might like be kind of swamped in bills and they can't do the pocket option because the minimum deposit is like $50 or something like that.
Now, I'll tell you a trick
There's a
with
broker.
those deposits in crypto. They say the minimums, but anything you send will be deposited.
Oh,
So,
I didn't know
for
that.
example, if you do it says, of course, the minimum's 50. Click the 50, do the whoop the whoop, get the address, send 30, it'll be deposited.
Wow, I never even knew that.
Hell, send 10, it'll be deposited. Now,
That's
on a
crazy.
very rare occasion, they'll send you an email and say, complete the full invoice. But 9 times out of 10, anything you send is going to be deposited.
That's crazy. Because I had to, I was just about to tell you, I made a new broker account with a broker called Codex, which is affiliated with another company. And they do binary and stuff like that, but the minimum deposit is only $10. So I started with the 10, I build it up to 40, and then I put the other rest in before we started trading.
Now, close option is 5.
I didn't even know that. I was looking for the cheapest one I could find.
Yeah, close option is 5. I use close option for a contest. They do a $5 contest every week. You start with 10,000. You run it up all week, and the payout's Friday. First place gets 700. Second place gets 5. Third place 250, and then they play fourth to 10th, $25.
Okay, cool.
I usually come in the top 10 every week.
Yeah, I know
I
you
won first a couple times.
I would expect nothing less, man. Like, you know how you give it up. A challenge, FTMO. Yo, every challenge that I ever put you on to, or like I heard about, like, yo, somebody doing this, you did it, and you did it the first time. Like, I'm just like,
Right.
what the fuck?
I done passed hella evaluation and shit. Like, I do them for fun. This shit crazy because when I first found out about it, a couple years ago, I was intimidated by them evaluations. Now I pass them just for the hell of it.
Okay. So now, for the pocket
I'm
option, right?
slightly out of profit on that binary.
I want mine's.
Yours already cleared out?
Yeah, mine's closed. I'm at 115.
I'm at 30 seconds left, and my entry is at 778. So I got like a millimeter to go. 5, 4. And she's not going to fuck with it. All right, I'm going to take another trade, same direction for 15 minutes. I got to do 17 again since I lost that one.
All right.
So you can go ahead and just run another 17. I did that for 15. See how all my trades are going to be at a 5 minute for increments of 5?
Yes, sir.
And if here on the MT4 chart, we're still in that same structure. And I really love the 5 minute when it comes to intraday trading. Once I've done my swing analysis and everything, the 5-minute chart is like the golden chart.
It's not too volatile, but it's not too much noise.
And it shows perfect structure.
Yeah.
Look at this structure right here. We got the first peak high of the day, retested, clean sell. And look at this.
Double bottom, double top. I always
double top. So what we can just naturally expect is after this level, come to this level. And based on the analysis done on higher time frames, let me show you what we can expect at this level. And I'll go ahead and hit this level. Oh, and magically, or well, not by coincidence, check this out. Look at those fib levels.
Clean.
Perfect.
Everyone is at a perfect break or retest support resistance zone.
Every single one of them. And
So
after a while, this is how I taught myself how to use the Fibonacci. I taught myself how to use the Fibonacci by identifying structure first. That's why I can eyeball it. I know a lot of people be like, damn, how did you eyeball that Fibonacci level and know it was exactly 78 or whatever percent? I'd be like, I taught myself structure before I learned the Fibonacci.
I'm getting there. I be doing it to my friends. Like, I'll be like, if you put a fib there, that's probably gonna be like a 23-point fib or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they'll be understanding, but what it is as you keep drawing it, like you eventually just get the space between the lines. Like,
right, you eventually just see it.
Yeah.
Like I tell people, once you see
no way to explain it. Like
you can't, once you see it, you can't unsee it. You can't
erase it. That's how it really was.
And here we go again with that fibs. And look at the targets down there. So automatically, just by looking at that structure off the intraday 5-minute, knowing what I'm looking at and knowing what I'm looking for here on the higher time frame, I'm prepared to ride.
Yep, you going down. I can't see exactly. What is that?
This is
386.30.
Yeah, 386 here. And mind you, although these green arrows weren't immediate entries, they do signify a critical level.
Gotcha.
So if I'm in a downtrend and I see a level, of course, a level is a target. Always. Any level is always a target, a valid target. Because, of course, the market can take off to whatever level it wants. It's going to a level. Which level it's going to is what we have to determine. But levels are always targets. So with a downtrend.
So in a situation like this, right? When you put your take profit, are you going to put it to the first level, second level, or the third level?
This is where at the first level, I would take partials.
Do my analysis. You don't put no take profit in. You just watch it and ride it. A lot of times, okay, got you.
I don't put a take profit or stop loss. I'm just putting that out there for people who are following my recommendations to cover their asses and whatnot. But honestly, I don't put stop losses or targets. I just let it ride and take at my discretion and do all that type of stuff. A lot of times I tell people that's why I urge people to take profit at any time and put their stop loss in profit. Because at any given time, I could have, of course, put a recommendation out there. I could be out and about eating lunch or something, pick up my phone, close and take everything in profit. And then it turn around and somebody say, damn, I got stopped out. But I'd be like, I understand the market shifted, but I took profit an hour ago when we were in profit.
Yeah, I feel. That's why you be like risk management. You got to manage.
Right, you got to manage your trades because I can tell you to take a trade, but how you handle that trade is completely in your hands. That's why I
And then
urge
yeah,
stop and profit, take partials.
another thing I learned from your signals too. When I get in, people got to stop being greedy too. Like right now, I had
Yeah.
like $40 in my account, so I did low count. Once I seen $10, $15, I'm like, oh, that's like a fourth of my account.
It's like 50,
I
right?
took that.
50% of your
Yeah,
account.
I took that. Like,
Got
hey,
to.
you know what I'm saying? Like some people just want to see the numbers get higher, bro, and I'm with them
Right.
on that. I mean, but for us to get to where you at, like it's more about
You got
consistent
to
winning.
build because trust me, there was a time where I was trading a $10 account. That was reality. You know what I'm saying? At one point, I had to grow 10 to 100. I had
Yeah.
to grow 100 to 1,000. Once you clear 1,000, you start hitting them numbers. 10,000, you out of there. You out the ballpark at
And
that point.
I tell everybody, once you hit a K,
It's a wrap.
once you make that first 1,000, it becomes like nothing.
Second nature.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Because
do it
ever since
over
I
and
had that
over and
3K
over.
in gold, I was hyped. I never wanted to do, bro. It was no job that was ever gonna give me $3,000, bro.
Facts.
I did that shit in a week.
Facts.
Best trade so far of my life. I ain't gonna say yet
And
because
that's
I'm
that's
still
the
going.
psychology of it that really beats everybody up. They might start with $100 account. They might see $35 profit and not be satisfied, not realizing they go to work for $10 an
For
hour,
less
do
than
an
that.
8-hour
Yeah.
shift, and only made 40. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They be mad it took them 30 minutes to make $30, but they go to work 8 hours a day for $30.
Yo,
And they be
like
mad
just
at the
now we did the
chart.
17, 15 minutes.
Right.
I made $17, right? I get paid $16.30 an hour.
So
So that
you
means if I
you
do
did
this
that at half
four
the time.
times, like you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I calculate, bro, because it makes it easier for me. Like,
Right, it makes it easier psychologically because then you can do the math. You can do, okay, 17 every 30 minutes. That's 36 an hour. If I do this 5 times or 8 times a day or 8 times a week, that's a part-time job, part-time check. And I
exactly.
can give myself a raise every month.
Yep. And then the crazy thing too, as you build and you build, you can and you build the skill. If you build your as you build your account, if you do build confidence and skill with it as well, or you're not just taking everybody's signals and getting lucky, you
Right,
will want to bet more down and you can make more. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Because it starts to
Because
become
once you
like
hit
second nature.
1,000, now instead of taking $20 trades, you can take a $200 trade on binary and make 80, $85 a pop,
Yeah.
150 a pop. So now
Remember my
versus
friend I was
making,
telling you about?
right, I know he
My
going
son is
crazy.
pulling out 3 bills a day. He started from $15 to 5 bands. Now
Getting
it's
it.
300 to 400 a day. That's what's up. Like I respect you. I respect the hustle. OD. But I respect niggas like you and him more because when y'all come up, y'all put niggas on. Like a lot of niggas come up and don't put nobody on.
Right. And he keep it
Which is
all for
fine.
himself.
But when you fall, don't get mad when nobody else put you on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Don't
so
nobody
it's like,
catch you.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate y'all for this. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
So here's the that 5 minute markup that we did here on the,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to the 15. Because we finna go for a ride on this 15. You see how this 15 has broke that structure?
Yeah.
It broke the neck, it broke this
The neckline.
right here. Coming through the neckline, finna should crash down and start continue this fall. It should be pretty aggressive. Because what I see over here on the weekly is a straight drop. I see a weekly straight drop down to right in here, which is 1312.
Got you. So in a
That
situation
cat
like this,
said Jeff went crazy. Let's
Stupid.
go take a
Hell
look
yeah.
at that. CHF, where you at? Boom. That bitch went crazy. Lit. She's gonna come back down. Now, oh, look at here. I'm gonna go show you. I'm gonna go ahead and walk through a very, very, very simple intraday strategy using, I'm gonna take this RSI, just using this hour chart or the 30-minute and zooming out on your charts. Okay, you know how I always say the highs and lows of the day are the most strongest support and resistance areas?
Yeah.
Okay, looking at this chart, if you look to the upside, of course, it's just a bit, just looking at it right off the bat, we can see this market's been doing this. So seeing that, I'm looking at all these, the trend, which is identified easy by the green and red arrows. I see it was in an uptrend. The lows are higher until right here they get lower. So that means at some point right here, this trend changed. Right here, because now these lows are lower. Over here, they're all higher. So I know somewhere right in here, the trend changed. So now I'm going to look to the top side. I see the highs right here. Now they're lower. So I know right in here, this trend changed. I'm looking at the 1 hour right in here. So now, based on the strongest levels of support and resistance that I know are the highs and lows of day. So now I'm looking at the highs and lows of day, which are identified by the aqua dotted line here. Okay. Looking at this, I can see this level right in here. I can go right here. There's a lot of highs of the day in this area. So I'm gonna hold that as my resistance. Remember, the highs and lows of the day are the strongest levels of support and resistance. Now, just to verify what I'm looking at, I'll go to something like the daily. Now I'm in here, look, boom, we got a solid resistance there. So now I'm gonna go to the 4 hour. Now I'm looking at the 4 hour chart. That's the area I've identified. Let me zoom in a little bit and look at structure. Right now would be the best time to sell that CAD CHF. So you know how we bought yesterday? I'm actually gonna close out on $2,200 right now. And
that's car payment right there, baby.
You feel me? I'm selling it.
Yes, sir.
Because although I knew I was buying up into that area, we're in the area I wanted to buy into. So now would be time to sell that. We've hit my target for the bulls, now the bears.
Got you. And that's why you actively monitor, because had you been holding like a signal, you wouldn't have caught the change and shift.
Exactly. So now, since I've identified that off the 1 hour chart, those highs and days, now I'm looking at the actual structure here on the 1 hour chart. Look at the structure here at the 1 hour chart. Also, now I'm also gonna implement my intraday rules. Above the high of the previous day, high of the low of the day, at the high of the day. It's perfect, and it matches every one of my intraday entry rules. You know, I say I only enter at the high or low of the day. If it's down in here, I'm not interested. It's got to retest the previous highs and lows of the day. Now look at this, my trade, my sales already in profit on CAD CHF. We can actually, go take some binaries on CAD CHF. I believe that is one of them. Yep, that's one of the ones we can use. So we can take some binaries here of CAD CHF. And I'm gonna do a 15-minute for 30 on CAD CHF. This is gonna be trade number 3 in the compound. Were you able to enter there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal. We're already in profit. All right, now using my intraday rules, like I said, we're at the high and low of the day or whatnot. Now I'm gonna go in here and actually identify structure. Let's go to the 15-minute. Here's the 15-minute. I see the rallies, boom, boom, boom. I see that. And this last push, I see the higher lows, higher highs, and boom, boom. Now right here, the trend starts to, the highs and lows become more closer, which I know the trend started to exhaust. Not to mention, it's still in a valid resistance area from my higher time frames. So I would only expect the trend to begin stalling in this area anyway. Okay, and that's the 15-minute. So now let's go to the 5. Here in the 5, now I'm looking for a beginning of lower highs and lower lows, because I know that changes the direction of the trend. So now I'm looking at this area here is a high. Here's the first lower high. Here's the second lower high. So now I know the trend down in here has begun like that. Now I'm on the 1-minute chart, and my entry is right now.
Got you. So as you going from the hourly and the daily ranges, you have a seller's mindset because of the trend on the higher time frames. And as you run
Exactly.
through the lower ones, you kind of making it make sense in a way. Like you making the candles have to make
Exactly.
sense to go with the higher time frame analysis.
Right, and I'm matching structure up all the way down. So right here is the
Got
neckline on the 1-minute chart. That's inside of a resistance area that we found on a higher time frame. That's inside my intraday rules at the highest point of the day. So it's just like bam, 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 pull the trigger.
got you. So now question. You see how we pulled the sell, the 17 cell before you went down in time frames? Do you want me to like pull the trigger based on the higher time frame trend once I see that
Okay,
cross
okay.
or
Now,
whatever?
when it comes to binary, I would say go all the way down to the lower, to the 1-minute. Or and on pocket options, you can go down to 5 seconds. I utilize
Okay.
all the way down to 5 seconds on pocket option. Now, of course, MT4, as far as I can go is to the 1-minute.
Yeah.
But on pocket option, you go all the way down to the 5 seconds. Now, I would recommend going as far as you can and choosing your expiry based on how far you went down.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you only go to the 1 hour, you need to be taking at least, I say, 1 hour plus binaries. If you go down to the 1 minute, you can do 5 minutes or whatever. As long as so whatever time frame you go down to, do your expiry for at least 4 candles on that time frame. So if you're on the 1 minute, I say at least 5 candles. So if you're on the 1 minute, you can do a minimum of a 5-minute trade, as long as you're waiting for your precise entries. If you go to the 5-minute, I say you can do 30 minutes plus. You go to the 15-minute, do at least an hour. If you're on the hour, do at least a 4-hour.
Got you. So it's in increments of the time frame that you
Yeah,
see
I
last.
say, I'll try to break everything down into numbers, because that's something that everybody can relate to. So break everything down when it comes to your expiries, multiply whatever time frame you're on times 5. And that's your expiry.
Got you. That makes it much simpler.
Facts.
Instead of having to
I'll
guess
be
or think about
stressing to
it.
keep it simple. So the trade we're in right now is going to be the
The
life of
cat
this
twist. Right?
15-minute candle. And based on the structure and everything that I'm looking at, I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball our target. I expect this 15-minute candle to close right here. I think I'm recording this so that we clip. Okay. Like, he really be eyeballing me shit. Yeah. And I'm finna spark up.
But that makes sense though because that green candle right there, or black. I'm not sure the green outline candle though. That break, that high right there, that break is the bank's money coming in. It got to be because
Exactly.
that's hot. That's a lot of orders. So they're gonna want to take price back down there,
So
take
you see, this is
everybody
gonna
out.
be some easy money.
Yep, quick liquidity grab. Now, do you think it's gonna break that box that you just drew, that yellow box? Think it's gonna go below that,
Yeah,
or
I think it actually begin to crash hard over the next couple of weeks or so because now looking at my higher time frame, remember, this is what I'm looking at. So I
okay.
could actually expect CAD CHF in the near future to hit 72 flat.
All right.
And so we're at the peak, the highest point in that retrace. Now check this out. Like, again, I didn't create the Fibonacci, I just used it. We're right there at the 61.8.
Gotcha.
So
So it all
again,
aligns together.
that sniper peak, we don't have to worry about any drawdown.
That's fire.
Risk free. Like, people ask me, like, well, how much do I have to risk? I'll be like, well, if you know what you're doing, that
Where it's
it's a
just patience.
guarantee.
This thing right here, one thing I'm learning as I keep going in this game. This game is really patience. Patience wins, bro. If you just
Facts.
watch, it will tell you when to play. Like
It'll tell you. It'll tell you. So you get familiar
shit
with
like chess.
patterns and
Shit, it's just like chess. Sometimes you gotta be defensive with your bread. You just gotta hold that bitch, hold that shit down, wait for the signals, optimal trade entry, and motherfucking pull that shit.
I was gonna come get him anyway.
So far 2-0, binary and profit about to be 3-0.
Good deal. Then we're gonna do 4, 5, and 6. 55, 99, 178. Now, we only got to do 10, and we'll cap like 32 to 100 a day. As you see, by the time you're done with this, your balance should have probably about doubled to about 200. Well, 150-ish or somewhere right in there, actually. And what
Yeah,
we
I'll be
got,
at like
5 minutes left.
yeah, I'll be at like 149, 148, something like that.
Okay, smooth. So ultimately, we're trading this 15-minute candle, which is going to be closing this 30-minute.
I'm gonna make a post about this right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got like, and I got all this training. I've been just recording for the past couple of weeks, and I'm creating training just off of it. So I just, whenever I'm sitting here trading, even by myself, I'm recording it. And when I have one-on-ones, I'm recording those, and I'm creating the courses and everything from that live material. That's why it's taking me so long. How's the pound looking over? Okay, the pound came down to our first level. It'll likely keep shifting at 930. Now, another thing, now based on correlation, The reason I'm on these three particularly right here is because the pound USD CAD correlate and USD CAD correlate with CAD CHF. So let me explain that. Pound USD just reached a peak and retested its 4-hour high right here. USD CAD just retested its 4-hour support right here. As I'm pointing this out, this is gonna make sense. You're gonna be like, wow, exactly the same. So this 4-hour here on CAD is at support. So if 4-hour CAD is at support, I would be expecting this to be the perfect buy setup situation. If the 4-hour on pound is at resistance, this would be the perfect sell opportunity. So you see how those right there match, buy one, sell the other?
Yeah.
Then knowing that USD CAD and CAD CHF also correlate, the 4-hour chart is the perfect time to sell CAD CHF. So that's two confirmations to be correct on all three of these trades. And that's using correlation technique.
Correlation. So pairs that have the same like ending or beginnings, and how the price is forming on those pairs could determine it or not the opposite.
Exactly. Because basically what pound USD falling and USD CAD rising means is the money's leaving pound going to USD CAD, or vice versa. The retail banks are moving their money from UCAD into pound USD and vice versa.
Gotcha.
When the market shifts like that on correlating pairs, that just means traders are going from left to right or right to left.
Now, for the correlation, why would it be USD CAD and GBP U instead
Because
of
globally
GU and GCAD?
Globally, pound is dominated by metals, gold.
Okay.
Pound's powered by gold. UCAD's powered by commodities like corn and shit like that.
Coffee.
Rice, oil. Well, no, they're obviously inverse to oil too. So think of pound. How can I explain that correlation? Hold on, give me a minute. I'll think of a way to explain it.
Cool. Good deal.
And same thing with USD CHF. When the money's leaving the pound, that's where it's going. Oh shit! I tried that. Yeah. I gotta take another one. I just had to take another one at 31. I tried that. How'd you do on that trade?
Nah, I closed out down by like
Okay,
3 seconds.
I tied it. I had to just take another one. Now, what you can do is either take another one or start the flip over again.
No, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, do another. I did another one for 15. Same price. Because what that means is we got a doji over here. See, we got another doji on that 15-minute candle we traded. So it was hard for either buyers or sellers to even make profit on that 15 minutes. But this one should be the one that takes it out of there. We've had enough. We've had 2 dojis in a row. We shouldn't get a third one. That's one thing about that binaries. You know, Forex, you could have still been in just hanging on.
Holding it down, yeah.
Binary,
you
out of there.
I was explaining it to my mom the other day because she had seen me doing it on the laptop. I was trying to explain it to her, but yeah.
All right, what we want to look at? Let's look at the pound over here. Pound sitting right at that first break level. This 15 minutes should come closing down. Let's do some analysis on this UCAD. All right, so again, I'm gonna go to the 30-minute, the 1 hour. Again, looking at the highs and lows of the day, I can see that level's right in here. Now on an intraday perspective, we're at the low of the day. We're coming into the 15-minute. So now looking at it from this angle, using this area here as a supportive one. And I'm gonna go all the way to the wick where that arrow was created. If I want to be exact, I can highlight over the candle. The low is 25,941. I can go here. 25,941. Copy, paste. Got my line right there at the low. Now I'm knowing that this was the low of the day. This is the retest. So now what I'm looking and what I'm expecting is boom, boom, the retest, the shift. And that's also a harmonic pattern. So based on harmonics, first is the AB, reset to the 50. This is what that IML stuff does. Then from here at the 50, we have our expansion. Which is down to the 161. And then we'll have a retracement. Which will likely take us to the 268 or 261, sorry. Here. And then that would ultimately give us the harmonic pattern. And we can verify that and watch it here off the 5 minutes. And this here is inverse to, again, that CAD CHF. Inverse the CAD CHF and the pound. Now over here on the pound, I can see our harmonic actually too. Let's highlight this one. Here's one on the pound. And I taught myself harmonics just using the field. And that was this.
That harmonic shit is tough. That shit is
Yeah,
hard.
it's very powerful. Yeah, people ask me how I learned it. I'd be like, really, it's just something that started forming. I just started seeing it. And now I can really go to any chart, give me a couple minutes, and I'll find the harmonic pattern. Here's that CAD CHF. So you see how this 15-minute, I really didn't expect a doji on this 15-minute, but now looking at it, it makes sense. We can look at it here on the 1 minute. It makes sense. It was still in our zone, but it didn't move from our zone. That's why mine broke even and you probably lost by 3 ticks.
Yeah. 2 or 3.
Because it was still in our entry zone, which was right there in that red box. Just gave us a doji. And the candle that probably fucked with you was this one. That damn railroad, this one right here. That was probably the close of that 15 minutes, that area right there, which either tied or caused people to lose by the minimum amount of tips. So CAD CHF in the money clutch. Here's that CAD, that USD CAD. See that the fucking harmonics is vicious. Very powerful. So in essence, we could have went over there and took a trade on that, but we gonna let these expire. I got about 5 minutes, well, 6 minutes.
Yeah.
6 and some seconds. Closes at the 9:45 minute. Yeah. Pound, how's pound look? Pound still sitting on our level over there. Let's go to euros. Okay. No. You know, I haven't done USD CHF in about a week. Let's take a look at that. Okay. So USD CHF, let's zoom out to the hour. And let's see what's going on. Just at a glance, I can see this rally here. So I'm gonna put my fibs there. And I guarantee you we're probably bounced off the 50 and sitting at the 21. Bounced off the 50. And we're sitting at the 23. Okay, close enough. All right, get that out of there. Now I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit. I want to see the highs and lows of the day now. So move that. I want to see the highs and lows of the day again. Boom, I'm gonna drop my line. Basically what I'm doing at this point is I'm gonna drop my support and resistance line wherever I have the most touches. So that would be about right in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a good amount of touches. Now to the downside, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just looking for one plate area to draw the support right here. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just as many touches. If I wanted to make it a little closer, I could actually put it right. Let's put it right here. You see why I put those 2 lines in both of those areas?
Yeah.
Not only is my high and low identified by the aqua tracer, now I have a more sturdy line with my what you call them? Horizontal line or vertical lines. Horizontal lines. All right, so now that I have those 2 levels, if I want to make it a little tight, I'm actually put it right here on the actual yesterday's tracer, and right here on the day before the tracer. Zooming out just gives me a ballpark. When I zoom in, I can get more precise. So now I'm gonna go to the 3rd minute here. Looking at it. Okay, we got a down, based on our resistance and support indicator by the arrows, down, a lower high, lower low, lower low. In essence, this low, as of now, is still a lower low. But as you see now, right in here, the trend line's starting to get broke. I'm gonna actually take that out of there and put a shorter line. There. I'm still putting it on yesterday or the previous day's low. So it still comes out to over there. I just made it a little shorter. I actually like drawing shorter trend lines than an actual full horizontal bar across the way. Ooh, that cat CHF fell off good. Gonna close out in a good win.
Yes,
She
sir.
going to that yellow. She gonna hit that yellow box. Crash through it. UCAD looking good. Pound USD gonna do the same. Okay, everything back on track. All right, now going back to USD CHF. Now this is the pattern formations that I'm looking at. We go into the 15. Here it is again. Now looking at this 15, utilizing the indicators that I have appearing here. There's a supportive resistance, which was the Asian range, if you keep that in mind. Asian range, first 8 hours of the day. There's the Asian range. Then we got the false breakout. And then we got the intraday rally. And if I pull out my Fibonacci, it's no coincidence that bounced off the 50. And now we're going for an expansion. If we don't come back down in here and consolidate right on the 50. Here would be the expansion up here to the 161 area, or ultimately we'll come back down here and close right inside the Asian range for the day. And it'd be just like that, that easy. And the reason I believe that we may actually come back and consolidate right in here, a good sign of that is the fact that we're selling the CAD CHF. Since we're selling the CAD CHF, ultimately, that would mean that the CHF is getting strong, or money's being put into the CHF, because that's the why it would bring CAD down. Now, looking at the USD, if the USD is bullish and the UCF and the CHF, the Swiss franc, is also bullish, that pair will likely consolidate. That makes sense. So if CAD CHF is being pulled down because CHF is strong, we got USD CAD rising, which means USD is strong. If USD and CHF are strong, USD CHF is going to move sideways because nobody's a winner. They're both strong. It's like tug of war.
Gotcha. So it's like another range.
Exactly. And the market algorithm will move cross pairs or other pairs involving those two strong currencies. Okay, good deal. We closed that out. Both of those, you good to go on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal. All right, now it's 6:46. Let's go ahead and take a look at taking another position on somewhere. I think I'm gonna like here on the Euro USD. What's Euro USD paying right now? 78. Okay, 78% is good. This trade, I'll do another 31. So we'll double up before we move on to my next box. This over here, let me show you exactly what I'm looking at over here. I'm looking at this. This is the the compound I do whenever I do flips. I start here and I go through, and then I start here and I go through, and I just do this over and over and over and over and over. No matter what my balance is, I start here with the first trade at 10 or the first trade with 25 or 45. 45, 10 in a row, profits $22,000. Over here, 10 in a row, starting with 10, profits 3,000. All right, so we're gonna do this trade number 3 again before we move on to this second box. Let's double up right here. We're gonna do this on Euro USD. All right, so let's go in here and look at the 15. No, I'm actually go step by step all the way from the beginning. Be up the hour. I can clearly see the bullish rally. I can clearly see that. Then I can also clearly see the lower highs and lower lows that came right behind it. So I know this is where I would be like trend over. All right, so now I'm seeing this down. Now I'm just looking for an area, of course, that has the most touches. This is just what I do at a glance. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now coming in closer, I'm going to actually get precise with it and hit the actual previous day's high. Because now that I have an overall higher time frame analysis down here on the intraday levels when you want to get precise. So I got the high and low of the previous day ticked off. All right, so now in here at the 30-minute, of course, I know the Asian range was right in here first. It's actually right in here, but I'm gonna draw it all the way through. All right, I see that. Coming here to the 15-minute. Now I can hit some of these levels, like right in here, for example. Starting from over here, I can just look in the chart and see the levels that are already highlighted by the indicators. Now I just gotta do my homework and match it up with current price relativity. So I got that level hit. Now looking a little closer, just to box in current price. The next one's going to be right here. Now I've got price boxed in. Now I'm going to come in here closer, come in here to the, we're getting ready to take this trade in just a second. We can take it for about 5 minutes. And we're going to enter now. Shit, I can't get anything. Okay, yeah, we want to enter now. And I just entered that for 5 minutes. I entered it at 268. Whenever big shifts like this are expected in the market, that would be the only time I would be a minute late on that 5-minute rule.
Gotcha.
All right, so let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, now here is the particular candle we're trading. And we should easily get down in here. Also, look at my RSI. It's already white. Easy money. Not to mention a downtrend is already identified here by the pull from the high of the day. We can actually draw a channel here. And we can ride that channel just like that. Straight like that there. Let's start getting to that we ride. How's pound doing? Okay, pound's coming on around that mountain. UCAD is pushing up that hill. And CAD CHF stalling out. Okay, now here, look. You see how USD CHF is moving and it did not consolidate and it is going to in fact go to one of those expansions?
Mm-hmm.
That means the other pair is going to consolidate.
Mm-hmm.
CAD CHF. CAD CHF will consolidate at the high while USD CHF runs, because in essence, fundamentally, that's showing us a strong dollar in a moderate CHF. And when it comes to CAD CHF, that's showing us a moderate CAD and a moderate CHF. Because over here on UCAD, the dollar's dominating CAD too. So dollar's dominating CAD and CHF. And everything else in the market. Forcing pound USD down, forcing euro USD down. Fundamentally, that's what all that information is. By reading one pair, I can eventually tell you what's going on in the entire currency market. That's how much time I've spent with these charts.
That's fucking amazing, bro. Nah, that's amazing, bro, because you correlate half the market or the entire market based off of price action on one pair and fundamental knowledge on one pair.
Right. It's crazy, right? Like, I don't even know where it came from. It just started, shit just started popping up in my head. I just started putting pieces to the puzzle together. Okay, we just cleared out on that trade. And now what I'll do for the next one is I'll just go ahead and sit back and wait till that hour change in 4 minutes. Did your trade close?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now we'll move on to this next box here. 55.99, 178. But we'll wait until the next hour to give us a clear identification on where we want to take binary. Gotta be super precise with that shit. Because imagine over here, based on the trade amounts. Now, every now and then, when I'm feeling itsy or really on my high horse, I do 1,000 flip, starting with just $1,000 trade, and I'll go all the way through like this, and that profit is almost 250,000, which can be taken in the same 4 or 5 hour sitting that we're doing here. But when I do something like that, when I'll stretch it out and take one trade a day for like 2 weeks. But the end profit is still 250K. Whether it takes you 2 weeks or 4 hours. All right, we're coming up on the new hour and 2 minutes. Now, based on the new hour, looking here at this next hour is likely here on the euro, gonna do this. So with that said, we'll enter in a couple minutes. I'm gonna have to make a run, so we'll take this trade for an hour, and then we'll wrap the session up. I'll leave it recorded, and then I'll send it to you. I'll leave it recording until that trade expires. Then I'll do some editing to make that last hour only like 5 minutes, and then I'll download it and send it to you.
All right, bet.
But yeah, we'll take this next trade on the hour close. 1 hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it, put it in position to record. Okay. So we got about 20 seconds. And this trade is gonna be 55. We'll end on trade number 4. And then we'll pick back up again on Monday and go through the rest of this until we knock it
All right, bet. Sounds like a plan.
out. All right, good. Today is Friday, right? Okay, I'm in for an hour.
Yeah. On the
Euro
euro?
USD, yeah.
All right, which way you going? Up?
Down.
All right, bet.